Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be doing a gearbox fluid change on my Punto HGT. The procedure we use today is going to be very similar to that you use in the Fiat Barchetta, as it has an identical gearbox and engine to the Punto HGT. The gearbox used in the Punto HGT is also very similar to those found in a few Alfa Romeos, namely a 147, a 155 and I think a 156 as well. Anything up to a 2 litre, from 1.6 to a 2 litre 16 valve. The gearboxes are all very similar, but do your research before undertaking any work. Now let's have a look at the tools and the fluids we're going to be using in today's video. Okay, so let's first of all have a look at the gear oil that we're going to use. We're going to use Valvoline 7580, which is the correct gearbox oil for this engine. We're going to need 1.65 litres of that, so we're going to use one of these and a little over half of this one. We're also going to need socket, extension bar, and we may need the step up from a 3/8 to a 1/2 inch because it's a little tight in there, so you don't want a 1/2 inch driver, as they can be a bit big. Now the plugs on the gearbox are hex head. It's either a 12 or a 14. We'll know when we get in the car, so you're going to need that as well, a full set here. We're also going to need our pump. This pump screws onto the top of the bottle and you basically pump it up through the tube here, but we'll have a look at that when we're doing it. We're going to need some gloves because anyone who's done a gear oil change knows that it's very smelly stuff. We're going to need a rag in the form of a soil baby rag. Now as you can see here, this is our capacity, which is 1.65 litres, and then the plugs are 18 foot-pounds each, so we're going to torque them down to spec with our torque wrench and we're putting it all back in. So let's get out under the car and get started. Alright, so I have the car up on my ramps here. It's not going anywhere, it's nice and sturdy. Let's get the bonnet open. Okay, so the bonnet catches under here. Let's get back around to the front of the car. The Fiat logo, and she goes. Now, we're buried all the way down there. Let's get our bonnet catch up. Now, the gearbox is all the way down there. Can't really see it from here, so let's get underneath. Okay, now let's just get an angle. There you go. So here we are under the car. We can see our fill plug there, and you can see our drain plug in the way there. I thought it was a different plug up top. There's one up higher. I thought it was. I can't really see it now from this angle, but this is it here. So this is our drain plug, and this is our fill plug. What we're going to need to do is, the important bit is to open your fill plug first, because if you open your drain plug and then can't open your fill plug, you can't fill your gearbox and then you're in trouble. So let's get this top one open and then let's drain everything out of this bottom one, and then we'll get filling it back up. So let's start with that. Okay, so we've got our socket seated now. We're going to give it a good turn. There we go. It's actually probably a bit too tight, so somebody's obviously dug at this, absolutely gunted it in. It's a bit stupid. So this is the fill plug. We might get a little trickle out of this. Let's see. No trickle. Already getting the lovely smell of gear oil. That's it there, just a bung. Seems all clean. Okay, one down, one to go, and our second one. Just going to move the camera angle, give you a better look. The second one is in here, so let's get our number 10 in there. We're going to use an Allen key because it's a little bit tight. And, oh. Oh, find home, there you go. It is absolutely welded in there. Welded. There we go. Enough to oil train all the down for a hop. Oh, good luck. Where was doing the gearbox service on this last has absolutely over torqued these to bits. I'm just delighted that the treads aren't coming out with them. Oh, good luck. 18 foot-pounds is as it should be. 18. And somebody put this in with a half-inch drive. Cowboys, Ted. A bunch of cowboys. Now, let's get this under here and let's get our number 10 in our socket. There we go. Free. Yeah, I'm glad this isn't smell-o-vision because this stuff stinks. Yeah, gear oil actually doesn't look too dirty. Oh, it doesn't look too bad at all. It's just that whoever was at this last has absolutely gunted the bolts in. So we'll let that drain out and let's go and prepare our replacement gear oil and our pump. Okay, so off camera I've cinched up our bottom plug to 18 foot-pounds. Now we're going to start filling up our new gear oil. So let's get our valve in. Pierce that. Thank you. Now it goes in here and hopefully this just screws down. She does just screw down. There we go. Now this connection here goes into the fill hole and we're just going to start pumping. So let's go do that. Okay, so this is our fill tube. I'm going to run that in there. That's not going to come out. What we're going to do is we're going to fill to spill. So after 1.6 litres or whatever, however much it said in the book, we should just get some fluid start to spill out of that, and then we know we are full. So bring you back out here. Actually have the pipe. You can see it's just running straight through the bumper and straight into the gearbox there. And here we go. See that going into the gearbox. Okay, so welcome back under the car, and as I pump, we're getting to the end of our second bottle. You can see the gear oil just flowing out there, and that means that we are full. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move this here, pop that out, just leave that hang over our oil. We're going to get our bung, replace that. Bit of an odd angle here. Hold on, I move myself up. Careful not to thread this or cross thread this. You don't want to cross thread it. Get it as tight as you can with your fingers. And then we're going to go 18 foot-pounds again. And once we click that down, we are good to go. Okay, so tighten this down by hand. I always want to make sure, just double check it. Oh, the light is down for a hop again. Okay, click, done. Get that out of there. Let's change from our 12. Plug, which is this one here, and it's 10. Get that home. We got wheel arch running in the way, but let's get this home. Come on, find home. There we go, and we want that click. You see it home there? Click. That's a hex 10, that's a hex 12, about 18 foot-pounds of torque. Now, that's that done. Remember, fill hole out first, then drain hole back in, torque to 18 foot-pounds. Fill this 1.65 litres till it starts spilling out, torque this to 18 foot-pounds, and you are done. So I know this is a little bit of a tight squeeze in here today because the car is lowered and the ramps are queued, so I hope the video came out okay and I hope you enjoyed it. So let's get back inside and let's go through the costs associated with doing this. So we're back inside now. We've had a wash. I've got the lovely smell of gear oil off me, which isn't lovely at all for anyone who's ever done it. You know what I'm talking about. So what did we find out? The gear oil we took out of the car was relatively clean. I'm gonna guess about 20,000 to 30,000 miles on that gear oil. It's relatively clean. It probably got done with the last clutch change, which they tend to get done hand in hand. We also found out that the plugs on the gearbox were far too tight. I'm going to assume someone put them in with a ratchet gun or just didn't torque them properly and just hung out them a bit, made sure they were proper tight, but they were proper tight. But they're all torqued down now correctly, as you've seen in the video. Now let's go through our costs associated. The costs were, we need 2 litres of gear oil because they get sold in bottles of a litre, and they were about €11 and some change each. I bought them on Mixed Garage. It's a website here in Ireland, very good value. Not sponsored in any way by them, but they tend to be very good value and very quick delivery, so I tend to use them when my local motor factor doesn't have it in stock. And the pump we used to get it in was about €12. I think I picked that up on Amazon, so we're in around the €35 mark because you need 2 litres of gear oil, €11 and some change each, and your pump to get it in. You also need the tools to do it. Now, a set of Allen keys usually comes with the number 10 key, so that's your drain plug. And number 12, you might need the next step up in Allen keys. They tend not to come in the normal regular sets you'll see at hardware shops. You'll need number 12, but again, it's minimal costs. The steps I went through today are the same for most 5 to 6 speed manual gearboxes. DCT or dual clutch transmissions are totally different. A lot of them will need filters, and you may need special tools to actually get the gear oil in, or the DSG fluid or whatever it is goes in. So it's a totally different procedure, so you can ignore those. But most manual gearboxes will have a drain and a fill plug, and a lot of them are filled to spill. If you're looking at this video as a tutorial to do it on a different type of car, just know that you need the car fairly level when you're putting the gear oil in. So when it does start to spill out, you know the gearbox is level and you're not tilting it to one side and you have enough oil in and stuff like that. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the steps I put in are fairly easy to follow, and I hope to see you again in the next video.